Okay, so welcome to Books, Bots, and Everything in Between, How the University Libraries Support UNCG Students. I'm Jenny Dale, the Information Literacy Coordinator in the University Libraries, and I also serve as the liaison to 4 departments: Communication Studies, English, Media Studies, and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies.
Hello, and I'm Melody Rood. I am the Student Success Librarian, and I am the liaison to the International and Global Studies program, as well as the Student Success units on campus.
And we are just 2 of many employees in the libraries who can help you. We have around 100 employees, and we are all working really hard to help our students all the time. So just to tell you a little bit about UNCG Libraries, it's actually made up of 2 different libraries. Our main library is Walter Clinton Jackson Library, which you are probably familiar with. And then we also have the Harold Schiffman Music Library, which is in the fairly new music building. To summarize kind of what we do and what we're all about, I use this quote from Dean Mike Crumpton, who's our current interim dean, in his welcome message. We will share these slides and make them available through the alumni weekend folks who are organizing it, so you'll be able to click on some of these links as you're looking through. But Mike says, at the university libraries, you'll find programs to inspire and support you, experts to respond to your academic and scholarly needs, and service-focused, technology-rich environments in which you can study and collaborate. So we're going to be talking about some of these things in a little bit more detail here.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the books. So our collection includes over 1 million print books. We have about an equal amount of ebooks as well. There's 110,000 e-journals and 300,000 streaming media files, as well as hundreds of article databases. And within those databases, there's hundreds, thousands of articles that you can choose from. So lots of materials that students can work with. We also are strong advocates of open educational resources, commonly heard as OERs. And basically what this is, they're any type of material or resources that are used for teaching that is available in the public domain or copyrighted in a way where it is free to use and to alter. So this is really important because the rate of inflation for education materials in the last 40 years, I believe, has risen over 800%. So this gives educators an opportunity to use something that is affordable or free for their students. So one thing that the library does is we host this textbook affordability mini grant project that was started by a former colleague, Beth Bernhardt, and the Office of the Provost. And basically it is an opportunity for teaching faculty to apply for this grant that allows them, it awards them for looking into more affordable options for their course. So that might include using the library resources or using OERs. And since that has been launched, the return on investment that we've seen has been almost $1.2 million of savings. And we've been working really hard to do some more outreach and more advocacy to create a more holistic open culture on campus.
All right, so that was the books, and now I'll talk about the bots. So we're using the bots here as kind of a stand-in for this idea of technology. So we have a wide range of technologies that we provide access to. The images that you're seeing here, which I'll go through, these are all pretty much hardware, but we also provide a lot of software, a lot of programs, and a lot of support for students. So what you see here, I'll just go clockwise from the top, is a scanner in the Schiffman Music Library. We have these scanners throughout both of our libraries. in the top right, you will see our self-checkout station. So just like a Target or the grocery store, we started adding self-checkouts a few years ago, which helps when people just have something quickly that they want to check out and that they don't want to wait in line to check out, or they just want to very quickly be on their way. Below that is an image of one of our 3D printers, which is in a space called the Digital Media Commons, which is in the lower level of Jackson Library. That's a space that provides not only a lot of technology like this, but a lot of technology training and support. So this 3D printer is part of their maker space, and maker spaces are a major trend in public and academic libraries, and it's something that students are really appreciative of and make a lot of use of. Next to that, you'll see someone working with some sound recording equipment also in the DMC. They try to make it really easy for students who have assignments like creating videos or creating podcasts for different classes or different projects to be able to do those, and again, to get the support that they need while they're creating those projects. Next to that, you see that kind of green wall. That's the VIA Lab, which is another really cool space in the DMC, where you can record video, audio, and you can even use that green wall as a green screen. So just like with when people are doing weather forecasts or when we see green screens used in films, people can do a similar kind of thing in that space. All the way over to the left there, we have a couple of people using our gaming technology that we have available also in the DMC. So the DMC is not the only space where we have a lot of technology. It just happens to be where a lot of it is, at least within Jackson Library. And now we're going to talk about that whole everything in between that we promised in our title. So I want to talk a little bit about research help. So having all kinds of technology and all kinds of books is great, but a lot of times people are going to need help using it. So we have service points throughout both of our libraries for students to get help, and they can do that in person, they can get help online, which I'll show you in just a minute, and they can also call us on the phone. So there are service points in the Digital Media Commons, there are service points in special collections and university archives, there are service points over in the Harold Schiffman Music Library, there's a research desk, which you can actually see in the picture here with those Ask Us signs. In the top right of this page, you can see the help desk at the Schiffman Music Library. So lots of different physical places for people to get help, but we also have a lot of online resources for people who need help as well. So we have our chat services, which you can see there's the iMinerva chat box and the Schiffman chat box right here on this page. These are places that people can get help quickly just by using our website. So they don't have to come to the library. They don't have to call us if they don't want to. They can use that chat service to get quick help. We also have a liaison for every academic department and program at UNCG, and those liaisons create research guides for lots of different subjects, courses, and topics. And I'm just going to take a quick detour here to show you what this looks like. So from our library homepage, you can find a lot more information about all of the different collections that we have. For example, you see the Schiffman Music Library listed under Libraries and Collections. I've briefly mentioned Special Collections and University Archives. That's definitely worth a look. They have all kinds of cool stuff, including our University Archives, so history of the university, personal records, things like that. But then we also have on this library homepage, go back to that main page here, this link that says Research Guides by Subject, which shows you our various research guides, and these are arranged by department or program at UNCG. So if you are, for example, interested in figuring out who our, let's say, nursing librarian is, you could click on nursing and you can see that Leah is our nursing librarian. You can also see that she's available for chat right now. And then you can see other specific nursing guides that she's made. So this nursing resources has lots of interesting stuff. But if you're in a specific class like Nursing 620, Law, Policy, and Economics of Healthcare, Leah has created this beautiful guide that goes through finding books, finding court cases, finding bills and laws, and more. So we create these guides to help students all across the university and faculty as well, anyone who's doing research, to be able to find the most useful resources for them, whatever their context might be. I did mention that chat, which is a pretty popular service we have. You saw Leah's on her research guide, but we can also go again to the library homepage and click Chat with a Librarian. This is iMinerva, and you can see that we also have chat services offered by the Music Library and by Special Collections and University Archives. Again, so we have lots of different chat options available, and the hours for these are located here on this page, which you can access by clicking that Chat with a Librarian. All right, I'm going to head back to our slides here. And I am going to move us along to spaces.
All right, so both the Jackson and the Schiffman Library both have quiet and individual study spaces as well as group study spaces. So in Jackson, floors 6 through 9 are quiet areas, and they're labeled as that. And the lower levels of Schiffman are the quiet zones. And then both libraries have reservable rooms for individual studies, small group work, and large group work. So depending on what your needs are, you can check out a room that can fit, 2 or 3 people or something larger. There's different technology in different areas that you can check out. And that is all made pretty easy through the website that Jenny just showed you. So we can move on to the next slide, please. All right, so some events that we host in the library. One popular one is the Therapy Pets. So this is something that we do a couple times a year. We do it during exam weeks when students might be a little bit more stressed out. We do it for reading day and other events. And basically we have this group that works with us, and they come in and they bring their therapy pets, and it's always a lot of fun, and students really love that. We also host book readings, author meet and greets. We have a lot of workshop series. 2 popular ones that we hosted recently were on memes and another one on zines. And then also the Special Collections hosts a Women Veterans Luncheon that happens. We do a library open house, which is, a fun day where we have music and games and things that students can interact with to learn a little bit more about the library. We host something called the Queer Cafe, which is just an inclusive opportunity for our LGBTQ plus students to have a space to interact with queer identifying librarians or library staff. And then we had a Valentine's Day OER pop-up that sort of relates to that advocacy for open education that I was talking about recently. And that image to the right there is actually an image from that event where we handed out cute Valentine's Day gift bags that had some just general information on open educational resources. And then another thing that UNCG does is try to have a strong social media presence. And this is just one example. This is from the preservation team's blog. So the Preservation Services is a division of the Special Collections and University Archives, which we call SCUA, in the university libraries. And what they do is they preserve, they repair, and they protect the library resources. So some of those procedures might include mending, infilling, sewing, and repairing of text blocks, restoring, rebacking, rebinding, and cloth or full leather, protective enclosures. All of this stuff, I'm not even sure what all of this is, but they're kind of like book doctors down there. And this is just an image from their blog that I thought was really cool. And you can see this is sort of a before and after of this Royal Commentaries of Peru after they had treated it.
And we wanted to address the elephant in the room, which is that right now we are in a worldwide pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, which is why this session is being handled online. And we just wanted to assure you that we are still supporting our students as well as our faculty and staff during this pandemic. We're doing our very best to provide as much high quality service as we can virtually while our buildings are closed and our employees are working remotely. So you can see this screen cap of the library homepage. It looks just like the one you just saw when I went there live, but just is helping students and other users, including faculty and staff, as well as community users, letting them know that we are aware of the situation and we're doing the best that we can, and also providing links to particularly useful resources. But all of the resources that we've already discussed, like those research guides, like the chat service, those are virtual, and so they are still available to our students, faculty, staff, and community members during this time. So we just want to thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate your participation in this virtual session. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our email addresses are on the screen there, jedale2@uncg.edu and mlrood@uncg.edu. So we are here to help if you have questions that come up, and we will make sure that these slides are also available to you if you want to go back through them and click links and look at images a little bit more closely. But thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Virtual Alumni Weekend.